Oh, hey, how's it going? Just coming back with some flour, just picking up a little bit of flour so that we can do plenty of baking here while we're stuck at home. The plus about all-purpose flour, white all-purpose flour, is that they've taken out all the stuff that makes it go bad really quickly. So this stuff, though just white all-purpose flour, will last you probably 6 to 8 months if you keep it in a cool, dark place, cool, dry place, in an airtight container. What you're probably used to seeing is a 5-pound bag of all-purpose flour. So now that we've got plenty of flour, just have to figure out what to make. Aha! I see you found my bananas. When we go to the grocery store, we usually like to buy a few extra bananas than what we're going to eat with like our cereal and stuff, so that they can get nice and ripe so we can use them for banana bread. Now, when they get really brown like this, they start to get spots and things like that. Those are the enzymes that are breaking down the starches in the bananas. And what that's doing is that it's releasing the sugars. It's breaking it down into its component parts, which are sugars, which are going to make it really sweet. It's also breaking down the cell walls, so that's going to make it nice and soft and easy to mush. It's like baby food in there almost. Come on. All right, so we're back. I brought along my trusty sidekick and helper, best helper ever today again. Ellie, say hi.
Hi.
So Ellie's going to be helping to make the banana bread. We've got our bananas here. We're going to have to get some butter melting right away because we want to make sure it has time to melt and then cool down a little bit before we add it. Because if you saw the last video about the pancakes, you know that we're going to have eggs and that we don't want to take any chances with cooking our eggs when it's in the mixing bowl.
I don't know about you, but I don't want cooked eggs in my banana bread.
I definitely don't want cooked eggs in my banana bread. So we're going to get some butter melting and we're going to preheat the oven. Ready?
Yep.
Break.
Break.
All right, so we're over at the stove here. Ellie's going to get us preheated to 350 degrees. So our oven already starts at 350, so you can see so it's preheating. Then she's going to take our half a stick, 4 tablespoons of butter, and she is going to put that on the stove, turn the stove on to low heat there. We're putting that about 2, and that'll give the butter a chance to melt. All right, so first we need to mash our bananas. So Ellie is going to get all our bananas into the bowl, and she is going to mash those up. In a separate bowl, we're going to add 1 3/4 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. Then we're going to add half a cup of granulated white sugar. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Then we're going to grate some fresh nutmeg. If you have pre-ground nutmeg, that's fine. You will probably want to use a little less, or around a 1/4 teaspoon. So Ellie is going to go ahead and whisk this all together. If you remember from the pancake video, now we've got our dry ingredients. Now it's time to go over to the wet ingredients. We're actually going to save ourselves a bowl by using the same bowl that we mashed the bananas in. So we're just going to mix all the wet ingredients right in with those nice mushy wet bananas. So we're going to start with 2 large eggs. And then we're going to do our half a stick of melted butter, which has cooled off. So we can just go ahead and put that right in. Remember, you want to make sure that butter cools. Otherwise, you can use vegetable oil too instead. Next, we're going to put in a 1/4 cup of sour cream. This is going to give the banana bread some nice tang. You want to make sure you get it all out of the bowl if you can. That's why you've got a nice handy dandy spatula so you can go all the way around the edges and scrape everything out. You can use buttermilk if you want for this too. That would also give a nice tang. Or if you have yogurt, just plain yogurt would be really good, and it gives a little bit of moisture and a nice tanginess to it. Okay. Then we're going to do half a cup of brown sugar. And last but not least, we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're going to go ahead and whisk this all together. I'm going to go ahead and, it's kind of a big bowl, so this is a great time to get help from your parents if you need. I'm going to dump the banana mixture right in the bowl. I'm going to use my spatula to scrape out all that extra good banana goodness here. We want to try to get all of that. We don't want to lose any banana flavor here. So this is a great time for some teamwork. Some team effort if somebody's holding the bowl and somebody else is scraping. Great time for teamwork. Alright. And then once I've got that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the spatula and I'm just going to fold it together. You can see I'm spinning the bowl. I'm spinning the bowl. Well, I'm slowly just folding it in. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So what is next is we are going to transfer our mixture, our banana bread mixture, into a greased loaf pan. Alright, so we're going to take the banana bread mixture here and we're going to go right into a greased, you can see it's greased really well with butter, a 9-inch by 5-inch loaf pan. That's what gives it that nice loaf shape. Again, I'm making sure to use that spatula to get out all of that banana bread goodness there. We don't want to leave any of that behind. I can tell you, it smells great already. Alright, so now, we're just going to take the top, we're going to shake it out a little bit because we want the surface to be pretty even. If there's a big lump or something, that's going to cook differently maybe, I don't know. Alright. Alright, so now we are going to take it and go right into the middle rack of our preheated 350 degree oven. And that is how it is. Alright, and our time is up. It's been 60 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this out of the oven and then we're going to do the old toothpick test. See what we got. It smells so good in here. I'm so glad that, you're probably watching this on YouTube, so I'm glad that you're watching this on one of your new smell phones so you can partake in this because this is great. So we're going to put this right up on the stove top here. We're going to close that oven door. We're just going to take a toothpick. You can come in closer here. We're going to take a toothpick. We're going to go as far down as we can, right in the middle. Now the idea here is, if the toothpick comes out clean, this is ready. That looks pretty clean to me. What do you think, kiddo?
I think it's good.
Alright. So now, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, we're going to place it on our cooling rack here, and we're going to let it cool for 10 minutes before we even invert this and take the banana bread out. So we're going to shut this off, we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes here, and we're going to walk away. Alright, so you can see our time is up. It's been 10 minutes. This is pretty cool to the touch now. You can see I can hold it. It's actually nice and warm. But if you don't want to, or if you're unsure, it's, I would ask your parents for help with this, and they can use oven mitts or they can see for themselves. But now if we greased this well enough, we should be able to flip it over and it should just pop right out. So you can see the steam coming off, so it's still nice and warm. So you can either leave it on the cooling rack here to cool, or you know, I would recommend actually doing that and then let it cool for a little while longer before you transfer it onto the plate. Unfortunately, for some people in this household, they can't wait to try it. So we're gonna take our bread knife. Please have your parents do any cutting. You can hear the nice crust on the top here. We're gonna cut about, what, 3/4 of an inch thick. Do you want an end piece or an inside piece?
An inside piece.
All right. So let's take a look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Moist. Smells fantastic. All right, what do you think here? Now, normally we could throw some butter on there, and the butter would melt right in. And we can just eat it plain. What do you think?
So good.
So good? Yeah. Can I try a bite too?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try a bite. Oh.
It's hot, but delicious. I couldn't wait.
It's very hot. Wait for it to cool down a little more. But it's super moist. It's not dry at all. Nice banana flavor.
Your skin coming out.
You can really see the steam coming off, yeah.
So you should really like put it on the plate, let it cool for a little bit, then eat it. But I just couldn't eat it.
Excellent job, sweetie. High five.
Break.
Break. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for joining us. Good stuff.